Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Joanne, the voice of Wisdom 31. Today, we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old conservative, activist, Republican young man that just passed yesterday. And often, I don't like to talk about, someone passing, particularly when they're in the public figure. But this young man was around my age. He's 31 and I'm in those age gap, 30s. And hearing his passing have me very ponder and think. And today we're going to talk about human responsibility, accountability, and the footprint we leave behind. People play in this world. We are human being, okay, we are spiritual being having a human being experience. And our life on earth is very short, very, very short. And a lot of time when we don't think about it that way, we play around too much. And then we realize that what is life? Only when we breathe, okay? And the footprint we leave behind. Now, Charlie Kirk, um, I've heard of him. I've sometimes come across to him on the internet. And oftentimes I don't listen to him. And the reason for that, because his views does not align with my views. He seems like he was someone that was more of has a lot of it in his heart, a lot of hate, I would say. And some of his views was not aligned for the betterment or for the happiness of everybody. And then so therefore, I do not prescribe to it. So I did not listen. And to be honest, because I want to be happy in this world, because I know my days are numbers, okay? I'm not coming here for just millions of years. I only come here if I'm blessed enough to live up to 100 years. If not, very less. So therefore, I measure my time very, very wise, because I realize, or have been follow the people that come before me. Those who live happy is those who want happiness for people. Those who live happy, those who preach happy, those who preach peace, those who want betterment for their community, okay? Those who not being disrespectful to others' life, those who respect people's life and respect people's, and remove racism, fight racism within their hearts. Those are the people that lives happy in this world. And so because I know so, I try to live my life in those kind of life. Now, Charlie Kirk, I've heard he left two children, two small children, a wife, that 31-year-old man, too young to die, okay? A father. So I want to send condolences to his family. However, the footprint I was talking about, the reason why we see so many people debate about him, and even me talking about it, that's because of the footprint he left behind. One of the things he said, before his death now, one of the things he said is that, gun violence, because he knows about gun violence because he's a part of the Republican now. He's in power now because Trump is his friend. So he's in power. He would be a voice that would fight to end gun violence. We just had a school violence that just happened. Small children lost their lives, and then adults lost their life. And then when we're in a world that we do not fight for small children, okay? Children are the most innocent being in this world. And we do not fight for those beings that are voiceless. Then we are facing consequences. That is the consequences we see here, because we do not fight. We who have a obligation, we know what's going on. We do not fight for small children who's voiceless. Then we will whip the repercussion, the effect of that. And that's what we see of this man. This man said, it is okay to have casualty, death happening, okay? It is worth it to have death happening, and then to still have the access or to still hold on to Second Amendment to have the right to have a gun. And then the thing is, throughout his life that he's been in the public figure, never once he advocate for a something that will help, to those who doesn't need access to gun doesn't get access to it. We ask Congress to have basic, medical check. When you get a gun, we need to check your mental. Are you equipped to have access to a gun? Because we have the rise of mental illness going on in this country. But are you equipped? How is your mental to have access to guns? But Congress have not even done that, because many people do not see the issues right now about gun control. The issue that is very, very hard for American right now is the fact that we have too many deaths happening around guns. And then we can't have reforms. And so we want reform, but we can. But this man, his life, he wanted to keep the Second Amendment without reform, just the way it is. Because he said it is okay to have casualty, people dying, but it's still worth to have your guns, your access to Second Amendment. And not only that, the disrespect that he fueled all his life, to people that looks like me. Okay? So my point is to say to you is that this is not a video that is saying that all I said is about that he should have died. No, he shouldn't. Because just because the views that he has, the fact that his opinion, he's a public figure, that he could just give in a speech and someone can just take him, that shows us that is scary. I don't know for you who are thinking, but to me that's scary. That makes me realize that we live in a time that is very, very scary. And so if America, we do not think this is a scary time, then we're not thinking. Because just because he has that views, yes, I do not agree, yes. But it is not okay for someone to just come out of just not any ounce to just come and take somebody else's life. No, this is unacceptable behavior. How do we treat other human beings that we can just come up and then one time and then we can just take another life like that? No, it is unacceptable. But when we're talking about footprints, we talk about what we live behind. And if you preach about peace, kindness, happiness, well-being, to have great health care, better community for your community, to have access to all good things, then good things happen to you. If you do not preach those things, then that's what you reap. And I'll tell you other things. I come to discover that racism, that it fueled the hate within some individual, I believe it's a spirit, it's a disease of the spirit. Because you cannot just wake up and to just not like people, hate people, just because of their skin or just because of certain things. That is the spirit. That is a disease of your spirit. The same way we have mental disease, I believe this is a spirit disease. Because we all belong here. You know that? I belong here. You belong here. We come here for a specific reason here. We all come here for a unique purpose. So when you don't like me just because I'm another human being, but because I have a different color, or because something about me, it's not my face, the way I'm looking, you telling God God make error. So that is a spirit disease to me. So it is about time when we think about our life on this world. It is very, very short. Okay? Some of us, we end up dying for the good things that we want to bring to the world. We've seen it. We've seen it before. Martin Luther King, JF Kennedy, and others that die for the good things they want to bring to people. The change that would have affected millions to bring betterment of life. Charlie Kirk, his views were more of a hatred views, and that would have affected many millions of people still of these views. but he also died. So when you see both people, Martin Luther King, he died, people praise. People say a light have gone too soon. F, JFK, many others. But him, what we see, we say, yes, someone 31 should not have died. Okay? This is not supposed to be happening. But when we see the footprint that he puts, this is the part that is people having issues to deal with it. This is that part. The fact that we could have both, we could feel both. Yes, he shouldn't have died. But the thing he was saying, the thing he wanted to do in this country, the change that he want to make, the direction of his change, and in the direction of the change that he was making, it is not such a good change. It wouldn't be good for millions of billions of people to listen to that kind of change. But at the same time, it's not worth it to have a 21-year-old man die. No, just because of a view. But again, that's the result of the footprint that we're talking about. Are you coming to this world? Are you bringing footprint? Footprint you bring in, are there footprint that will benefit millions in a positive way? Are there footprint that will benefit millions in a negative way? If it's in negative ways, then that is where the human accountability, responsibility, that is where it's come from. If it's a positive way, that is where you would have millions of people mourn you, cry, and then you will have your legacy last forever, and people gonna talk about it forever. But if you live bad thing, people gonna talk about the bad thing. You will have so much a negative outcome that legacy will be all about your negative things that you have done. So let us learn. God is teaching us that Jesus died for a good reason. Can you imagine that? He died, they killed him, but he was spreading good things. You see, millennial, we talk about Jesus. Millennial, for century, we talk about Jesus. And it's not only Jesus we talk about for millennial, for many others that come before Paul and different others. We talk about those people because they make so much change. For millennial, we will continue. 2, 3, 5 millennial will continue to talk about these people because they influence us in a positive way. So let us think about how we influence people, negative or the positive. Each has their own outcome, and that's where human accountability comes in. That doesn't mean that when you're no longer here, accountability doesn't still comes. So your name, your legacy, that's where the accountability will come. Society will always judge that. And do you want to be judged or whatever you want? That's going to be up to you to decide. So I come here to say, live wise. Our numbers are very short in this world. Remember, we are human, we are spiritual being having a human being experience. How do you want to make a difference in this world? Positive. You want to make a bad decision, live a bad foot, but then the negative, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the accountability that comes with it as well. And then most people don't understand that. Just because you passing, that doesn't mean that you are removed from accountability. You get accountability here, you get accountability in the heaven when you make your maker. Okay? So for me, I learned that very young. I learned it very, very young. To just understand that whatever you put on this world, you ripped it. So I try to do my best. I love people, I love me. I want positive for people, I want positive for me. I want people to thrive, I want it for me. So let us think about those things. And if we want a good society, let us elect good government, good people that will make good changes, that will make policy that will end those things that we don't want, like guns, gun control, like healthcare, like good educations. Let's think about who we elect, and let's think about who we put in the influence. Who's going to influence our young kids? What do we want? We want young kids to raise up to be evil, hateful, or we want young kids to be raised up to be better human beings. And so that is the message today when I think about Charlie Kirk. I think about a young man that just passed, but his legacy that he leaves behind, it is a very, very broken legacy. A very legacy that is telling us that he has been judged on earth, and we don't know in heaven how he's going to be judged. And so, therefore, me, I try not to judge, but at the same time, we can speak what we see. And we speak what we see. At the same time, if I want to be, I don't want to be judged, I don't judge. But at the same time, our eyes can see, we can tell what it is. But I want to say condolences to his family, his two children. I hope his children raise well, and I hope that, you know, they have good people that surrounding them. And then so God help us, right? Right? Okay. Well, this was Joanne, the voice of wisdom 31. You know, if this message resonates, share it. If not, yeah, because it's a sad day for America. It's not a sad day for the family only, but it's a sad day for America that we this is the state we come to in this country. Yeah, it's sad, scary, scary time. Okay, well, see you next time. Bye bye.